From Champlin Park High School, under the lights here tonight. It's nighttime high school girls softball, a matchup between two of the top teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference. 8-3, 7-1 in the conference. Maple Grove visiting 10-2, 5-2 in the conference. Champlin Park, along with Joe Rulin. I'm Jim Erickson, and Joe, beautiful night for softball. We've had our difficulties with weather here the last couple of weeks with some of our broadcasts, but tonight, absolutely ideal for this big one, both in the conference and certainly also for the section.
Hey, you're absolutely right. I expect that we're going to see the play on the field match this weather and the level of performance we're going to get from both of these teams, because it's got the feel of a post-game matchup already, and we're about 5 games left in the regular season, but it's got that feel to it.
Maple Grove Crimson under head coach Jim Coltis, 24th season. Of course, he was the girls hockey coach here for a number of years at Champlin Park, and you see their batting order doing a nice job. And usually with Maple Grove, they can hit, they can field, they can pitch. There's a reason why they're basically a contender in the conference and in the section year in and year out.
Yeah, everyone squares up on that ball, and I'll tell you, up and down that lineup, you get a chance to look at Brustein and followed by Goyette. Then you have Beisel as well, batting third, and Isle as well at cleanup. Zimmerman, Gornig, Haug, Hewler, and Wahlberg. The setup there, and Vitens is the flex player.
And they will face Marissa Rothenberg, the junior pitcher here for Champlin Park, 4-1 on the season. A minuscule .88 ERA, 32 innings pitched, 52 strikeouts, just 6 walks, and only 4 earned runs. Pitching has been a key here for Champlin Park. Rated 6th in the state. Maple Grove number 7 in 4A. And our first pitch is across here to Jordan Brewston. It is strike one. Brewston, a .387 batter, 12 hits, 37 at bats, and 3 runs batted in.
Hey,
One strike.
I wouldn't call it your typical leadoff runner, but she can score runs, 12 already this season, but a couple of doubles and just 2 strikeouts throughout this whole season, which is impressive.
Well, that's what you want with your leadoff hitter, able to make contact. You know, a lot of times you'll see the teams with a left-handed leadoff batter. They'll do that slap approach, but not with a right-handed swinger here. Brewston, the senior. But Rothenberger ahead here. No balls and 2 strikes. Pop foul. In the outfield for Champlin Park, Hewsome, Parent, and Wynn out in the outfield left to right. Reimler, Cottsmith, Heltemus, and Kaluza in the infield. Sophomore Chloe Postma is the catcher, and as mentioned before, junior Marissa Rothenberger. No balls and 2 strikes here to Brewston. Brewston, a Wayne State commit to play softball. And this one back to the screen, ball 1, 1-2.
I mentioned Maple Grove 8-3 coming in, but a team batting average of .364 so far this season. And meanwhile, ERA-wise, they've held their opponents, and they have a pretty impressive team ERA at 2.70.
Sounds like a pretty good formula. Similar formula for the Rebels. Foul back again. Good battle here in this opening at-bat. Start this game here, starting just a little bit after 7 o'clock. We had a special Ring of Honor induction. We'll get more on that because we did get some video of that. But first ever member of the Champlin Park Ring of Fame is Holly Blaska. Quite a player from 2016 to 2019, and the 1-2 pitch is low, 2-2.
You know, they had me step in. They didn't get it on TV. They didn't start it yet, but they had me step in for that ceremonial first toss, and she dusted me off the plate.
Yeah.
It was
swing and a miss. Chin music, in fact, I think. 2-2. Bounce to third. This is Reimler. Takes it on the short hop. Throw across in time. And we have the first out of the ball game here in the top of the first.
Boy, that was a typical leadoff hitter, a good quality leadoff hitter at bat. I think a total of about 7 pitches. Out that at bat, saw a lot of different plays. Across the diamond just to get her by a half a step.
And Coach Jim Coltis going to have a chat here with the infield umpire, I think. In his 24th season, had all kinds of success at Maple Grove, 10 trips to state, and of course they were the champions in 2019.
Yep, and I think they'll challenge that or not, but they'll go with what the field umpire had called. So
Well, Coach
First out.
Coltis was down and had a really good view at it. He probably thought maybe that play at first was closer and maybe that his runner was safe. But as it is, that out counts. Still one down. And the number 2 hitter in the lineup, junior second baseman Ruby Goet. Foul back again. 1 strike. Goet, .515 average, 17 hits, 33 at bats. And amongst the team leaders in runs batted in with 10. The team high is 11.
Outfield straight away, infield.
Change up.
Love that pitch.
That was a low and away, and Goet chased, and it's 0-2 from Rothenberger.
Champlin Park team ERA coming in 1.09.
Wow.
And the opponents have a batting average against the Rebels of .141.
2 strikes to Goet with 1 out. Called strike 3, and Goet down looking 2 up and 2 down. 53rd strikeout on the season here from Marissa Rothenberger, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Lauren Beisel, the commit to Bemidji State. She's going to be a Beaver, senior at third base here tonight. .459 average, has the lone home run for Maple Grove, 10 runs batted in. 17 hits and 37 at bats, 2 down, nobody on. Top of the first. Change up, pushed up right side, caught by Kaluza in foul territory, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Beisel out on a pitch, and Maple Grove goes down quietly here in the first inning. 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the first. We played a third here, no score.
Not at all. What a ratio in terms of strikeouts to walks by Rothenberger. And impressive. She gets one more, as you mentioned, Jim, now 53 on the season. And she just has 6 walks coming into tonight. 53 strikeouts and 6 walks is all she surrendered. So
quite a strikeout to walk ratio and only 4 earned runs, as we mentioned. So we'll move to the bottom of the first inning, and let's take a look at that Champlin Park batting order here for Brian Woodley. Mentioned both of these coaches, longtime coaches at their respective schools. Jim Coltis at Maple Grove, 24th year, and Brian Woodley, 16th year. Is this the year that Champlin Park makes it to the state? They've been knocking on the door. They were runners-up last year to Rogers, of course. This year is this year they break through and make their first ever trip to the state tournament, and this is the order that Coach Woodley will send up against the Crimson.
And they got Parent, Husam, Remler, Abrahamson, followed by Rothenberger, Postma, and also Cottsmith, who's playing short, and followed by Heltemus and Wynn, followed by Kaluza, who is the flex player and playing first. So a team, Champlin Park, that comes in hitting a team batting average of .368. You may have thought, well, didn't you duplicate that with Maple Grove? Maple Grove, .364.
Almost exactly
the Rebels,
same.
.368.
And they will face Merritt Wahlberg, young pitcher, just a freshman, 7-0, 40 in a third innings, a 1.39 earned run average, and she has struck out 42. It's been Wahlberg and Brewston, the main 2 pitchers. Wahlberg's pitched 40 in a third, and Brewston's gone 24 2/3 here this season for Champlin Park. Both of these teams have good 1-2 punches when it comes to pitching, as Ava Parent steps up and takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Parent, .378 average here for the Rebels. Home run, 13 runs batted in, 14 hits, and 37 at bats. The 1-0 pitch misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes here from Wahlberg.
Yeah, we talked about the Rebels team ERA, a stingy 1.09 for the Crimson, a 2.70 team ERA.
Well, if the pitching is as good as it's advertised, we could get out of here in time to see the opening tip of the Timberwolves. Hit the other way, right center field. That's going to be in the gap all the way to the fence. Parent for extra bases. And she'll pull the chute there at second base. A leadoff double here for Champlin Park. Champlin Park won both meetings between these teams last year, including in the elimination game in the section playoffs, before Champlin Park then finished runners-up to Rogers. A good start here with Parent, leadoff double in the bottom of the first.
And for Parent, her 8th double of the season. Bat head out. It was on the outside part of the plate. She didn't try to pull it, and she punched it to the fence.
Here's Hannah Hewsome, the senior left fielder. .447 average, 9 runs batted in. Takes a strike just above the belt, 1 strike, 17 hits, 38 at bats here for Hewsome, with Ava Parent of Wisconsin commit, going to be a Badger over and down at second base.
A good number 2 hitter, gets on base, but also as well scores those runs. 13 runs scored this season.
Wahlberg's pitch shows bunt, pulls back. It's a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Absolutely beautiful night here tonight. Technically, we're in Brooklyn Park on this side of the street. 84 degrees in the sun. Our first pitch temperature here tonight. And the 1-1 to Hewsome. Hit in the air to left field. Pretty well hit, but Howe going back. Now the center fielder, Gornick, calls her off and steps in front, makes the catch. Hewsome down. Parent remains at second, 1 out.
Hey, I'd like that play because she had the momentum coming from center field. That ball was hit a long ways. Almost able to lean up against the fence. And a nice play in center field. As she gets that ball, she picks it up, Gornick, and she's going in the right direction. Meanwhile, if the left fielder picks it up, since she's got to turn, rotate hips, and get that ball to third.
Reese Remler, senior third baseman, batting third. Runner in scoring position with 1 down. And Wahlberg's delivery. This one's lined to left field, drifting back, and it's over the head of Howe. This will score the run all the way to the fence. So Parent comes in, 1-0 Champlin Park, and an RBI double for Remler, her 7th run batted into the season. And it's 1-0 Champlin Park off to the early lead.
Yep, nothing more difficult when you're in the outfield, when you get a line drive, hit on the screws, hit right at you. This one just over the top of the head of the left fielder. And finally able to get the ball back in as Paul Molitor. He'd be so proud. Let's just hit back-to-back, replace the runner at second base, and back-to-back doubles.
Ava Abrahamson, the designated player. Sophomore steps in, batting the number 4 spot. Swing and a miss. Wahlberg with the good velocity there. 1 strike. Abrahamson, 447 average, 17 hits, 38 at-bats, 3 home runs for the sophomore, and leads the teams in that number 4 spot, 23 runs batted in. 1 strike pitch fouled straight back. It's off the screen. 0-2.
Well, you know what? I heard once from a Major League Hall of Famer. Says, Joe, you never make it to the majors by walking. So I'm saying everybody up here is swinging the bat. And when you look at strikeout ratios, a lot of these players just have 2 or 3 on the year and 45 at-bats.
Line the other way. That's into right field. Remler held up a little bit. Make sure it wasn't caught on the fly in the infield. She'll stop at third, but it is a 3-hit inning in this Champlin Park offense, and the bats here hot to start with runners at the corners now 1 down for Marissa Rothenberger.
Okay, well, the Rebels are not trying to do too much, trying to get back and get a gigantic swing. It's a short, compact punch swing, barrel head of that bat, and, hey, just punching it to the opposite field if it's on the outside part of the plate like that one was. So a nice base hit for Abrahamson.
So here's Rothenberger, the pitcher, 345 average. 6 runs batted in, can add to that total here. 1-0 Champlin Park. 1 down, bottom of the first. Here comes the safety squeeze. Throw over to first, out there. Here comes the run, slide, head first. And Remler comes in on the safety squeeze play on the bunt. Executed well by Rothenberger. 2-0 Champlin Park with Remler coming in to score.
Great play, and as a base runner, that's the perfect slide. We had a great angle on that, as you see from here. Head first dive, and that hand to the outside, just trying to hit the tip of the plate.
It's Randy Bush, 87 World Series. That's Randy Bush. Slide to the outside, get the hand on the plate as you slide by. Textbook. Abrahamson at second, 2-0 Champlin Park. 2 down the bottom of the first. Chloe Postma doing the catching.
Hey.
Sophomore catcher, 382 average, a homer, and 6 runs batted in, 13 hits and 34 at-bats. We'll take a strike here on the outer half, 1 strike to Postma.
The execution on the bunt was flawless by Maple Grove. They got the ball to first, a quick pivot throw, on time, on target, but the execution for the Rebels just about a foot better.
1 strike pitch, hit the other way, slicing towards the line. It's going to be caught. Running catch by Brewston towards the line and right. Postma down, Champlin Park down, but not before a nice bottom of the first inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, and they leave 1 on. We played 1 here on QCTV Sports. 2-0. And welcome back to Champlin Park High School. You see the Rebels with a 2-0 lead on the Crimson here as we move to the top of the second inning for Champlin Park. Ava Eiley, Sarah Zimmerman, and Emily Gornick, 4, 5, and 6 here against Rothenberger. And Rothenberger with some good run support. It's always nice you go to the second inning after your first team's at bat, Joe, and you have a nice little 2-0 lead to start out.
Oh, a great part of it. And, hey, Rothenberger helped the cause, got a sacrifice an RBI rather on that sacrifice bunt, which scored the second run.
Squares the bunt right back to Rothenberger on the first pitch of the inning, and a play over to first, 1 down. Rothenberger's a junior. You know, one thing you don't see in fast pitch softball, Rothenberger is a taller pitcher, kind of lanky, so she's got a lot of arm coming at you. She's got long arms. Sometimes that can be tough for the players to pick up the ball.
Yeah, a lot of elbows and knees coming at you
and
before the release.
Longer stride, too, so that ball technically is closer to home plate when you release that pitch. Every inch counts, certainly, and here's a called strike to Sarah Zimmerman. 300 hitter, 9 hits, 30 at-bats, 11 runs batted in.
That ball is coming out so clean, so well out of Rothenberger's hand. It hits it, and it's upon you before you know it.
Ready to deliver here. 1 strike, 1 out. Hit it to the right side again. Kaluza, easy play. Everything for Maple Grove is pretty much, other than the ground out to first base, everything, or to third base back in the first, everything's been on the right side of the infield. That shows that they're behind the pitches of Rothenberger and are hitting it the other way, but can't get it into their power zone as we go now with 2 down. It's Emily Gornick. 5 in a row set down here by Rothenberger. Gornick, the center fielder, takes a strike at the belt. 1 strike. Gornick, .216 average. 8 of 37 and 10 runs batted in.
She mentioned, hey, that flag is hardly moving in center field.
Swing and a miss. Good heat there from Rothenberger. Reared back for that one. And it's 0-2. Rothenberger is on her game tonight here for Champlin Park.
Snaps the mitt. Little powder coming from that mitt as well. She is going full throttle here early.
0-2, 2 down, base is empty. Swing and a miss. Got her to chase up and away on a rise ball. And that's 6 in a row set down here by Marissa Rothenberger as Maple Grove goes down in order 1-2-3 in the top of the second. And it's 2-0 Champlin Park.
Hey, Champlin Park, good start. They've come off. They've won their last 5. Looking to stack and make it a 6-pack. As they've had wins against Elk River, St. Michael, Elberville, Hopkins, and 2 Rivers, along with Bloomington Kennedy over those last 5 games.
Standings in the Northwest Suburban Conference. It is tight up top. Nobody's been able to beat Centennial yet. Champlin Park lost to Centennial 5-4. Maple Grove lost to them 7-6. So both these teams lost to Centennial in regular season Northwest Suburban Conference play by 1 run. And then you see Andover there in the top 10. Anoka's having a great year. Rogers. Northwest Suburban this year really, really competitive. But Centennial has found a way to win the close games, Joe. And there they sit atop at 9-0, the only undefeated team.
Yeah, not pretty, but I'll tell you, you're right, been able to get at it and have themselves a great season. And I wanted to say the team will carry tomorrow is playing. It's a Thursday. Andover, the team will be covering against Rogers, is at Centennial for a 4:30 game. I'm looking to get an update from one of the coaches.
So here we go to the bottom of the second inning for Champlin Park. The Rebels won 3 games in Eagan at the Northview Park Athletic Fields, the Eagan Invitational last Saturday, as Amanda Cottsmith, a UW Eau Claire softball commit, takes strike 1. Cottsmith, 143 average, 4 for 28, has chipped in 4 runs batted in. Her team leads at 2-0. Wahlberg pitches, popped up, infield. First baseman, Vitens, coming in, 1 out. So Champlin Park, they beat Hopkins. In fact, they didn't give up a run down in Eagan. Hopkins 12-0, 2 Rivers 7-0, and Bloomington Kennedy 10-0. And I talked and asked Brian Kennedy about that, or excuse me, Brian Woodley. And there really wasn't any kind of a championship in that. It was basically just a jamboree style, so it wasn't a tournament where you win the championship, but certainly 3 big games in the Rebels right now, as you can see here. Really on a roll and feeling good with Lauren Heltemus, the batter, playing at second base here tonight.
Yeah, and, they're hitting their zone. They'd like to see what they could do to continue that momentum and make it 6 in a row. I mentioned they won their last 5 games. And a little bonus need to know by Joe. They've outscored their opponents 45-4 during those last 5 games.
Yeah, it was 29-0 at Egan in that little tournament. There's a little flare. That's going to fall in front of the center fielder, Gornick. Little flare that dropped in. And Heltemus has the 4th hit of the game here for Champlin Park. She is on as a 1-out base runner, the number 9 hitter, Layla Wynn.
Jim, I cannot get my approach shot to get the backspin like that.
No, that would have checked up nicely on the green, certainly. As you see, Layla Wynn, she's planning to go to St. Kate's, hitting .267, 4 for 15. Bats left, number 9 spot. A little bit of that slap hit approach here. She looks bunt, and it's a called strike. A lot of teams will do that. Either they put that slap hitter in the number 1 spot, or they put it at number 9, and it can serve as another leadoff hitter to lead off and kind of set up the top of the order. With a runner at first and 1 down. Strike at the knees, 0-2 to win. Top of the order, Ava Parent on deck.
Yeah, we talked about Maple Grove on their own win streak as well. A nice win, 8-7 over Anoka in their last outing.
0-2, slapped up the middle, off the bag, then off the hand of Goet and into center field. That's a base hit for Wynn, first and second, and 1 out, and already 2 innings in, 5 hits for the Bats here for Champlin Park.
And some may call that strategically placed on that single to hit the base.
A little
Left
slap
up top,
up the middle.
A little up high, above the belt, able to get good part of the bat on it, and we flip to the starting lineup here. Number 1, Parent.
Yeah, Parent led off the game with a double. Came in to score, senior center fielder. Takes the first pitch at the belt, strike 1. Parent, a .378 hitter. Top 3 hitters in the order here for Champlin Park. Coach Brian Woodley, all seniors. This is a key inning here for Maple Grove and Merritt Wahlberg to try and keep this 2-0. And took something off, and it missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, you can see I like that pitch. I like the idea of it, to bring it inside and kind of lock her up, not allow her to extend those hands.
Rebels last year, 21-4, 10-2 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. 3-way tie for the championship. This one's hit in the air, caught in the air by Beisel. Throw to first, trying to pick off the runner, and it is not in time. They couldn't get the diving Layla Wynn, but now 2 down on that bunt. Just could not get it down on the ground, stayed in the air. Beisel made the catch, as you saw on the replay, 2 down.
That the description had some metaphors involved in it, a diving win. And nonetheless, back to it, as we have Husam, as you mentioned before, hitting .447, batting second. She also has an on-base percentage this year of .488.
Husam, senior left fielder, flied to center back in the first. And now our umpires, again, are discussing something. It was something that Maple Grove head coach Jim Coltis brought to their attention. I don't know if it's a rules interpretation.
Or maybe
we sit really close to the field, so sometimes it's hard to see everything that's going on.
I had thought he was. It's
okay.
Calling it out.
Might have been an illegal. She might have left the bag early. The way that the umpire indicated, the way he did his footwork, I don't know if we got the camera on that, but I think he showed that she may have left early or something about leaving the bag. And so that's the end of the inning. Let's see.
We'll have to take a look at it a little bit earlier than that.
I don't think it's the actual play there. I think it had something, I don't know.
If they,
maybe
she left, early from before that pitch.
Right, that was what we were contending. Yeah. That's what I said.
Head coach Brian Woodley.
So he doesn't agree with it.
Absolutely not. But that is the call.
He might be
They're moving
thinking
on.
that Maple Grove head coach Jim Colt has talked him into something, and he's agreeing. He's trying to talk him out of it. And I'd like to find out what the actual rule interpretation was there, what created that out. But basically, it was the runner.
Yeah.
The runner was out, so Houston will lead off the top of the third inning, and the runner at first win basically is called out.
And it looked like a very promising inning, or at least trying to get at least one run across. Looked very feasible there for the Rebels, but stymied and shut down. So maybe a little shift in momentum here for the Crimson.
Well, they needed that. The Crimson definitely needed to keep it 2-0.
Yes.
So it'll be Maple Grove here, top of the third, bottom third of their order. They have not got a batter on or a runner on yet here. Lexi Haug, Lexi Hewler, and Merritt Wahlberg due up here for Maple Grove, bottom third of their order. Haug, the sophomore first baseman, .364 average, 4 runs batted in here for the Crimson on the season.
A good look here, and we'll see getting out to the field here at the last minute after that late call from the officials.
Yeah, we kept it here so we could get the official call and get the decision. Maybe Joey could run into the dugout next inning when Jim Coltis comes back in and see if we can get an explanation on what the ruling was there, what was the appeal, and then the decision by the umpires. In the meantime, Lexi Haug, the batter. It's a ball 1 here to Haug. 7th batter in the order. It's been 6 up, 6 down so far for Marissa Rothenberger. And that's on the outside part at the knees. 1-1. Tough pitch there.
Oh, the perfect pitch. Man, she had some spin on that pitch, but just the location as well. It's going to be tough to get it off the ground, even if you get a swing on it.
Hooler on deck. Here's the 1-1. Goes high this time. Tries to climb the ladder. Good eye by Haug. Doesn't chase. And it's 2-1. And for Maple Grove right now, they just need to get a base runner and see if they can get something going here in this 2-0 game.
Yeah, they're in a 4-game win streak for the Crimson. Wins over Elk River, Totino Grace, Robbinsdale Armstrong, and
2-1. Foul tip at the plate. 2-2.
Another player in the conference having, an adequate season, certainly with Anoka, is Fracking. She hit a home run in that game versus Maple Grove. In fact, that 8-7 loss. That's her 4th home run of the season. She's hitting .525 with 20 RBIs.
Not too shabby.
I bet you St. Thomas just cannot wait for her to get on campus.
Didn't St. Thomas, I see they won the Summit League. This one is foul way out in front of the changeup and pulled out of play.
You're correct.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Haug at .364. Maple Grove last year 7-5 in the Northwest Suburban, 13-11 overall. This will be their last season in the Northwest Suburban. I asked Coach Jim Coltis about the move to the Lake Conference. They are excited. 2-2 delivery. Up and away. That was close. 3 balls and 2 strikes. But he's talking about competing with the big boys and the big girls. And when you talk state of Minnesota, that's the Lake Conference, certainly.
Yeah, that certainly is a pretty elite conference in itself. But the section-wise, they'll still
be in Section 5. They play all those teams anyway. Wayzata, Edina, Minnetonka, they play all those teams anyway in many of their sports. 3-2 pitch right back to Rothenberger. Nice backhand and an easy toss to first. 7 up and 7 down now. 1 out here in the third.
Hey, you can see they're just, I don't know if it's not seeing the ball come out of her hand or just trying to catch up with the pitch and the velocity she delivers. Just a one-hopper.
Yeah, well, I'd say she's doing a good job keeping them off balance. She's changing speeds. She's got a variety of pitches at her disposal. Rise ball, curve ball, drop ball, change up, good velocity. And right now she's got them all working. She starts here, Lexi Hewler up high, ball 1. Hewler a 167 average, 5 for 30 on the season with an RBI. She's the DP, hitting for Izzy Vitens. At the letters, just a little bit high. Vitens is the first baseman, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. One of I think the first time here tonight that Rothenberger has fallen behind 2-0. Wahlberg on deck. Swing and a miss. That was right down the heart of the plate. Rothenberger saw it, swung, but couldn't catch up to it. 2-1.
I didn't want to step in and bring karma to it, but just before that pitch, the sun went under the clouds. And, of course, she has her first 2-0 count.
2-1. Bouncer off the plate to first. Nice high hop to Kaluza, makes the play. Another one to the right side of the infield. And Huler is retired, 2 down. That'll leave it up here to Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's the second first play unassisted play brought in. The only reason I mentioned it's an indicator just not quite keeping up or getting up with the speed and the velocity, a little bit behind on the pitches coming from Rothenberger, the Crimson.
So here's Wahlberg, 500 hitter, just 8 at bats, 4 hits and 8 at bats, 2 runs batted in. Just a 9th grader, takes high here, ball 1. Batting in the number 9 spot here. If she can get on top of the order, Brewston on deck. At the knees and a called strike, 1-1.
You have to like that location. Sometimes you get games where you see a couple that are skipped to home. These pitches are so focused, knee high, and so strategic.
Rothenberger ready, 1-1 pitch off the handle and fought off to the right side. And Merritt Wahlberg has a 1-2 count to her. I'm looking forward to that Andover-Rogers game. Good scheduling this week by our guy Ryan, huh? This one tonight, and then on Thursday, Rogers and Andover as the season starts to wind down. Got about a little more than a week left. Not even 2 weeks left. Both of these teams wrap up. Champlin Park's last game, May 15th. Maple Grove, the 16th. 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Struck her out. 3rd strikeout of the game for Rothenberger. And she has gone through the Maple Grove order here in the first 3 innings. 1 through 9. 9 up, 9 down. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd, 2.5. It is 2-0 Champlin Park.
Hey, we got a need to know by Joe for you, Jim. And this one, as I was dusting off some of the statistical information, Champlin Park won last games last year, right? They won both, so that 2-0 coming in. Unbeknownst to me, I'd continue to look through all the statistics. Maple Grove had defeated Champlin Park 33 straight games. And they are 33-0 they were prior and just after 2006 to last year and up to 2023 if I didn't butcher that. But Maple Grove had put together, that's one heck of a stack. That's one heck of a streak. 33 in a row for Maple Grove until they were defeated last year. And Champlin Park picked up the sweep, the 2 games. So maybe this is the beginning, the shift of better things ahead and this rivalry between these 2 teams.
And we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Champlin Park, 2 runs in the first. They threatened, and then I don't want to call it controversial, but we had that discussion. Maybe next inning you go and chat with somebody in the Maple Grove dugout.
Yes.
Suppose I could have gone when you're doing the no to Joe. Need to know by Joe.
We'll get it.
But we'll get it eventually. Hewsome ready to lead it off here. Hewsome, Remler, and Abrahamson, 2, 3, and 4 here for the Rebels. It is up high, ball 1. Hewsome flied to center back in that 2-run first and a 2-0 game here for the Rebels.
Left-handed swing, kind of an open stance.
Hit well to right center, in the gap, to the fence, off the top of the fence, inches from a home run. And jogging into second base is Hewsome with a double. Inches away from what would have been her first home run of the season.
Oh, she launched that one and squared up on it. When you can see the follow-through after the contact, her hands were still kind of on top of that ball and gave it a good path and some good spin on that little backspin and that point of contact. Boy, she saw that ball from the start. And
gave it a ride.
Great start for her this evening.
It hit that little plastic yellow tubing that kind of protects fielders and whatnot from the chain link at the top there of those fences, the 8-foot fence here at Champlin Park High School. As Remler takes a strike, 1 strike. Remler doubled, knocked in a run. Her 7th run batted into the season. Champlin Park threatening to expand their lead with the leadoff double here in the third.
For Hussam, by the way, her third double of the season.
One strike pitch is up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Remler and Abrahamson will follow. Hussam, who's on at second base, 447 average coming in. Got the pink batting gloves. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike called at the knees. Wahlberg drops that one across, and it's 1-2.
Look to see last time again, a nice drive by Remler in left field, just right over the top of the left fielder. This one.
Hit to the right side. That is going to be out of play.
To mention, Champlin Park comes in with a team batting average of .368, and they even up it with their on-base percentage at .418.
They find ways to get runners on. Wahlberg delivers. Hit. Caught in the air. Nice play by Goet at second. Diving towards the bag. Makes the catch. Otherwise, that one might have had enough heat to split the fielders and score Hussam. But as it is, it's a nice catch.
Flashes the leather. Extends. Makes the play on a hard hit ball by Remler. Much needed there for the Crimsoner. That would have been an RBI single, at least.
So Remler retired. Hussam stays at second. Ava Abrahamson, the cleanup hitter, sophomore DP. Single back in the first inning. 1 for 1 tonight.
Yeah, she punched it to right field.
Here's the Wahlberg pitch. Check swing, and she got a piece of it foul ball here for Abrahamson. Also one of those batters hitting over 400 here for the Rebels. 447 coming in, higher than that now. 18 for 39. If you can do the math, should have that calculator up at all times. Could update those batting averages. Wouldn't be that hard.
I would just think they have an AI solution.
Well, I'm sure
Just
there is.
right up,
We're
right?
just not smart enough to use it. Here's the pop up to the right side. First baseman Vitens towards the dugout makes the catch. 2 big outs here for Wahlberg with that leadoff double. Hussam is still at second. And now she gets the cleanup hitter, and a little pop up on the first base side in foul territory. And now Rothenberger bats.
Hey, you wonder, what kind of adjustments they are making now on these hitters second time through. That time, Abrahamson just a little bit off with that swing and popped it up to first versus that punishing single to right field her first time up.
Here's Rothenberger. Got an RBI, her 7th of the season on that safety squeeze. First pitch here. Pulls it foul, 1 strike. The other key on that safety squeeze is the fact that Remler has to play that perfectly, the runner at third. If she's not far enough off the bag, she doesn't score. If she's too far off the bag, they throw behind her and then get her in the hot box in the rundown. So that safety squeeze by Champlin Park was executed to perfection.
There's a lot more meticulousness involved in that.
1 strike pitch hit well to right center. This one, though, in the park and shy of the fence. Gornick over to make a catch, and Rothenberger is out. 3rd out of the inning, and nice pitching and good defense by Maple Grove after the leadoff double. The Champlin Park Rebels go in order. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the 4th already through 3. Still 2-0 Champlin Park over Maple Grove on QCTV Sports.
My favorite thing about volunteering as an Extension Master Gardener is learning about the different gardening styles and sharing that knowledge with others. I love meeting and learning from people who care about educating, inspiring others through gardening. Whether you are a new or seasoned gardener, there's always something new to learn. In 2023, our Anoka County program will celebrate 40 years of teaching and working with residents. They learn to grow healthy plants and foods, improve local ecosystems, and create outdoor living spaces for people. I am one of over 150 Master Gardener volunteers living in this area, so one of our strengths is being familiar with the challenges other local gardeners face. Every May, the Master Gardeners host a plant sale fundraiser and sell plants grown and thriving in this region. The money we raise supports our community project and activities throughout the rest of the year. I am excited to see what positive changes we can make this year and the ripple effect it can create. please visit the AnokaMasterGardeners.org to learn about upcoming Master Gardener events and services and how you can become a volunteer.
See the shot from our center field camera on a beautiful night here, beautiful Tuesday at Champlin Park High School. Maple Grove batting in the top of the fourth inning, the top of their order, Jordan Brewston, Ruby Goette, and Lauren Beisel. Trying to figure out Marissa Rothenberger, and so far nothing. Rothenberger has yielded nothing and yields a strike here to Brewston, who grounded to third to start the game in the first inning.
Yeah, I did a quick check on why that double-up call of inning before, in which Champlin Park was double-up or wind, and that was the case. They
little flare, pop-up, underhand catch by Rothenberger. Rothenberger been impressed by her pitching, but she can also field her position. That is evident. And makes the catch there. Brewston is out, one out.
Yeah, it comes off that mound with cat-like quickness. So apparently when Wynn got back, she didn't get to the bag or off the bag just a bit. And
she like slid past the bag, and the first baseman still had the ball and her foot on.
Correct.
Okay.
So that was what I got from one of the assistants from Maple Grove.
Fouled over to the JV field, sliced off the bat of Goette, one strike.
They're having trouble getting those hands through that strike zone and a little bit behind, as you mentioned, with Goette. 10 RBIs on the season, 12 runs scored, 3 doubles.
And hitting .515 coming into tonight, although went down looking back in the first inning. Pitches low, good eye there. She shows drag bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yep, and that's also going to bring in Remler at third. Even a few more steps. She's one of the rare third base players that is not wearing a mask.
1-1. Bounced off the plate, and this will be played foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, good pace of play here as the defenses and the pitching, as we thought might kind of dictate that tempo, and as you get to postseason, as I mentioned, it is a huge formula of success is that pitching.
Head coach Jim Coltis coaching down at third. Longtime assistant Pam Hendon is over at first. Another one sliced to the left side into the other field, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Pam was the one who gave me the confirmation on the play at first. So
nice. Yeah, this coaching staff for Maple Grove, they've been around. I started calling their games on radio in like 2010, 2011. And I'm pretty sure this is the exact same coaching staff that they've had under head coach Jim Coltis. 1-2 in the air, left side, long run. Left fielder Hewsome over, and they won't get there. And the count will ride along here at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I had mentioned in that first inning, the opponent's batting average against Rebel pitching this year is just 141. 94 strikeouts, and they just have 13 walks that they've surrendered as a team.
And even though Maple Grove doesn't have a hit yet or a base runner against Rothenberger, this is the kind of at-bats they need. They need a battle here. Goette battling, but now she waves at that one, and a drop ball down and away. And Goette is down. It's a strikeout. 4th strikeout in the game for Rothenberger. She's had 1 in each inning, and now 2 down, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Lauren Beisel.
That pitch was just perfect, and you just trying to get the hands out to the ball and make some contact and see if the velocity of the pitch can do some work, if they can make good contact. Could not. Tough location.
Beisel fouled out to first back in the first inning. We're in the top of the 4th here, and a called strike here to Beisel.
Yeah, inside corner, caught it, dot at the inside part of the plate. Just 3 walks, 2 strikeouts for Beisel on the season. An excellent hitter.
1 strike. Good fastball, but it missed. Just missed. A little bit outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, it speaks volume. Goette coming in tonight had just 3 strikeouts on the season for Maple Grove, who just recently hit.
Yep,
She struck out twice.
Gives you an idea how good Rothenberger is tonight. 1-1 pitch, good eye outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rothenberger's pitched 55 and 2/3 innings. Now just 6 walks. Her control's been impeccable. The 2-1 pitch. And that misses, and that's her first 3-ball count of the game. So I said impeccable control, and now it's 3-1.
Yeah, it's like on demand, right?
Yeah, I have 3-1. The scoreboard says 2-2. See if the umpire gives us a count here. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Here's the pitch. It's hit on the ground sharply down to Aeneas Kaluza. Easy play, knocks it down, and it's another 1-2-3 inning here. Maple Grove 12 up and 12 down here in the first 4 innings. Rothenberger sailing and Champlin Park sailing here as well as they lead at 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the 4th.
Well, it's a case here where the Rebels need to move their number because you got a team and an offense like the Crimson capable of erupting for multiple runs. And it's in dire need right now to see the Rebels at least push across 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th and kind of tighten that grip that they have so far here in this game. Playing some great ball, but hey, the pitching's great. The fielding has been even excellent, and that is now the 3rd unassisted out by the 3rd baseman this evening for the Rebels, showing you that they're behind that ball.
Champlin Park, bottom of the 4th, will have Postma, Cottsmith, and Heltemus. You see some of the fans out here tonight, a beautiful night. Mention these teams, a lot of games here in the next 11, 12 days, including tonight. Champlin Park with 7 games between now and May 15th. Maple Grove also with 7 games between now and May 16th. A week from this Friday for Maple Grove. As here is Chloe Postma, flied to right, 0 for 1 back in the first inning.
Yeah, came in hitting .382. Also a home run, 6 RBIs to her hitting portfolio.
Champlin Park with some good power here this season, as that one is up high. Home runs, 3 for Abrahamson. Perrin has 1. Postma has the other, so 5 total home runs for the bats from the Rebels. Ball 1 to Postma. Takes a high pitch and lifts it high in the air. Can of corn here for center fielder Gornick, makes the catch. That outfield for Maple Grove, Howe, Gornick, and Brewston, all new outfield. They graduated their outfield last year. In fact, Gornick out in center field replaced a 4-year starter in center field for Maple Grove, so that was one of the turnover areas for them. And 1 down with Postma out on that fly to center. Here is Cottsmith. Popped out to the first baseman in the second inning, 0 for 1. Take the pitch on the inner half of the knees, strike 1.
Yeah, the outfield, hey, that was one area of focus. I know for the Crimson this year is getting reps, and they're getting better, but Gornick looks pretty comfortable out in center field at some of the runs she's had to make.
1 strike pitch to the right side, that's to the foul territory, and out of the reach there, Brewston. Quickly 0-2 here to Wahlberg.
Cottsmith came in hitting just 143, but an on-base percentage near 300.
0-2. Cottsmith, one of the captains for Champlin Park. Changeup. Didn't get her to go for it. Good eye there by Cottsmith, laid off, 1-2.
Yep, took a little fuel off that pitch. A nice little changeup, and if you're going to miss it down and away.
Swing and a miss. Got her. Cottsmith down swinging. First strikeout here for Merritt Wahlberg in the game tonight.
But you throw a changeup with that degree of speed separation, and you come back with this fastball. It's tough to get those hands out and catch up with that fastball that walked up the ladder. Nice pitch.
Maple Grove, 2 runs on 6 hits here, but they have not scored. Champlin Park, 2 runs on the 6 hits. They have not scored since the first inning, and the batter is Lauren Heltemus. Heltemus single, stranded back in the second inning. Champlin Park has stranded 3, and this one, nice play by Goet, adjusting nicely from overhand to underhand on that little looper. And Heltemus is out, and Waldberg and Maple Grove have their first 1-2-3 innings, setting the Rebels down in order in the bottom of the 4th. We move on to the 5th, still 2-0 Champlin Park here on QCTV.
Hi, my name is Rachel Bonesock. I am the co-founder and executive director of Northern Stars Center for the Performing Arts. We are a performing arts center that brings you theater, dance, and music year-round with all ages and all abilities. If you are 4 to 104, we welcome you. We are a big family at Northern Stars, and we love to have everybody in the community support and be a part of what we have available for everyone. We are always looking for volunteers. We run on volunteer support at Northern Stars. So if you're interested in volunteering for anything, any of our events that are upcoming, we do theater, dance, and music. And we have a large event center that we hire artists, professional artists to come in and entertain the community as well as our theater. We would love to have you join us. You can email me at Rachel@NorthernStars with a Z, Rachel@northernstars.org, or you can give us a call at 612-326-6158. Check out our website. We have a lot going on, northernstars.org. Thank you.
Maple Grove Crimson here in the 5th inning. Eiley, Zimmerman, and Gornick. And one down. Eiley retired here to start the 5th inning. That'll bring up Sarah Zimmerman. Eiley out on a pitch. She's 0 for 2 tonight. And Rothenberger is moving right along. Boy, is she cruising here into the 5th. 4 1/3, and she's retired everybody. Two nothing. Zimmerman now batting. Grounded to first, 0 for 1. Here comes the heat. And it's a strike, 1 strike.
Tell you, she's around that plate so much the hitters have to be ready to put a bat on the ball or ready for a strike, and you see a lot of one pitch and out.
1 strike up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Short close circuit to the truck. We're hearing all the chatter and direction. FYI. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 down. Gornick struck out back in the 2nd. Hit the other way. That'll slice foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you know, it's that pitch gets in and on the hands of the hitter so quickly from Rothenberger, and I'll tell you, it's you know, the wins that she has, you can see why, and she's just surrendered the 1 home run, and opponents just averaging 128 against her this season.
1-2 delivery up high. That's about shoulder level there. Climbing the ladder, and Sarah Zimmerman did a nice job laying off it. It evens the count at 2-2.
You get tempted, but that pitch is tough to catch up that high.
2-2, hit the other way, off the handle. That's going to drop in. In between Heltemus, Kaluza, and Wynn. Little Texas League bloop. And Zimmerman is on at first with a 1-out base runner. And that breaks up the no-hitter.
Yep, now we can reference that. Getting back at good piece of hitting, though. I'll tell you, she battled, kept her hands that time inside that ball, as you can see it again. Great job. Good weight distribution. Got just enough of it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just progress. And a base runner right here for the Crimson.
We're going to get a runner over at first base.
That's why I say, hey, a 2-run lead, it may seem kind of like a large lead in this type of game, but now you get a runner on, a pinch runner, somebody who has some extra speed.
Peyton Ludwig is that runner.
Maybe get to second base.
Running for Zimmerman over at first.
Kind of changes the complexion and a little bit more of the pressure that's on the fielders as well.
Batter is Gornick. First base runner of the game. Bunt played on the plate, so it's a fair ball. Postma confidently played that, knew she could get the out at first. It's a sacrifice bunt. Ludwig up to second, 2 down. Runner in scoring position here for Maple Grove for Lexi Haug.
Yeah, you want to talk about checking up an approach shot. That bunt checked up and rolled back onto the plate. And sometimes you're thinking about, as a catcher, getting out, snapping that throw, but sometimes it can fall out of the hand on that plate, or just yours trying to step through and step on that plate. A lot of danger around that plate. Great execution by the catcher.
Lexi Haug, 0 for 1. Grounded back to the pitcher. Gets into this one, but way on front, pulls it foul. Did you mention the fact that there are holes around home plate, too? And sometimes you step in the hole or the ball ends up in the hole, and it's in fair territory. That causes problems. But well done by the sophomore catcher, Chloe Postma, with 1 strike here to Haug.
Haug got a good swing on that last pitch, off speed. Got the bat head out.
1 strike. Popped up, left side, again on a play. 0-2.
Yeah, I would best. We're probably going to see one of those sinking fastballs on the outside part of the plate here. As again, Rothenberger is like on demand with each one of her pitch. Just call it, and she's there.
Huler would bat if Howe can get on and extend the inning. Oh, and the catcher Postma set up on the outside, and Rothenberger put it right where she wanted, but she just missed the black, and it's 1-2.
Oh, I got to think it's coming right back there.
That almost came back in a back door with a little spin the other way.
Yeah, a little tail.
1-2. Off the end of the bat, hopper to Rothenberger, throw over to first, and Rothenberger, she lost her no-hitter, but continues here with the shutout. She keeps Maple Grove off the board in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, gave up the first hit of the game, and 1 left on. 4.5, bottom of the 5th coming up. 2-0 Champlin Park.
Hey, after you lose that low hitter, sometimes there's a little bit of a lapse, right? It's like a win streak. But hey, let's have a talk about the Hall of Fame.
Yep, earlier here before the game, Holly Blaska played here for 4 years, 2016 to 2019, being honored the first member of the Softball Ring of Fame. They unveiled the banner. She threw out the ceremonial first pitch. She was not a pitcher, but pretty good form there. 4-time All-Conference, All-Section, All-Metro 3 times. Is a finalist for Ms. Softball. Holds 10 of the 12 major Champlin Park hitting records. Hits 160, doubles 32, all-time leader, and she had 29 home runs in her 4 seasons, 104 ribbies, and 67 stolen bases. Was very good defensively as well. A 3-year starter at shortstop, moved to first base as a senior, and went on to play Division I high school softball in beautiful Oxford, Ohio, at Miami University, where she was a 5-year starter, got that 5th year, and was in the NCAA tournament as well. So
yes.
Holly Blaska, congratulations to her. Champlin Park's Ring of Honor, first ever member.
Hey, do you know the funny thing about it? I remember calling a game. It was just things going. Tim Anderson called that game with me. And it was at Rogers for the section. And I remember first pitch, she rocketed one out. And amazing. Her numbers also at Miami, absolutely phenomenal. She had a batting average of .333, 8th overall in that program.
Champlin Park, number 9 hitter, Layla Wynn to lead it off. Single in the second. She's 1 for 1. This one sails back to the backstop just a bit high. And it's ball 1. 1-0, top of the order, Parent and Hewsome here for Champlin Park, bottom of the 5th.
Well, if that last inning by Maple Grove, where they got the runner to second.
Slapped up to Wahlberg, and from the circle, throws her out, 1 down.
Yeah, wonder if that kind of activated that mindset here for the Rebels that, hey, we need to get some more runs.
Quietly here, Wahlberg has retired 7 in a row. 3 in a row to end the 3rd, 3 up, 3 down last inning, and then gets Wynn to lead off the 6th as they go to the top of the order in the center fielder, Ava Parent. Double run scored. Little bunt pop up to the third baseman in the second. She's 1 for 2. This one's high. Ball 1. Parent, a .378 hitter coming in.
I'm looking to get a score from some of my resources from that Centennial Andover game, which took place at 4:30 this afternoon.
1-0 high.
Centennial has given both of these teams out in front of us here tonight losses.
Maybe they do the same thing I do when I see a text or a call from Joe. Block.
It's instead of a need to know, it's a need to go. Need to go in the voicemail.
2 balls and no strikes high, and it's a 3-0 pitch coming up here from Wahlberg.
Just a splendid evening as the sun beginning to set. No humidity.
Perfect. 3-0 high, ball 4. So Parent is on at first base. That's the first walk given up by either team in tonight's game. And time is called. Here comes head coach Jim Coltis to talk to his infield. With the runner at first, 1 down, the due batter, Hannah Hewsome.
Hewsome picked up the last hit for the Rebels against Wahlberg, and that was a double. She was stranded at second, unable to get her across. So maybe some conversation, watch outs, as we don't want to give them. I'm sure the head coach of the Crimson any more than this 2-run lead.
Yeah, there's Coach Coltis going back to the dugout. Mentioned he was the girls' coach for hockey here at Champlin Park for many years, and then the Maple Grove job opened up, and that was a natural move for him, and they've had success on the girls' hockey side as well at Maple Grove, making the move to the Lake Conference next year, especially for hockey, boys and girls hockey. That just adds another great program to the Lake Conference. They're already stacked in both of those sports. 1 strike here to Hewsome. Hewsome a fly out and a double. Lays down the bunt. It's a good one. Wahlberg to first. Got her. Close play. Parent advances to second. And Hewsome is retired. We'll give her a sacrifice on that. Second out of the inning. And these innings are very important here for the Crimson because they really can't afford the way that Rothenberger is pitching. They really can't afford to give up more.
That looked like
a close play. Maybe
safe.
she beat it.
Yeah, I think that was a
and
tie.
I think that's what Coach Woodley is. If we could get another look at that
contesting
again.
That. It was certainly a bing play. Looked as though Hewsome had hit that bag as the ball hit the mitt.
Great
Good
angle
speed.
here. Oh, that's close. I don't know. Live, if I'm calling that live, I'm probably going one way or the other, and now they are going to discuss, and they're going to call her out. So it looked like that foot. I mean, it was so close.
I love the drag bunt. Well placed.
Yes, and it died.
Old Rod Carew-like technique, but I'll tell you, well placed. Good job hopping off the mound by Wahlberg and making a dart of a throw.
So the call stands after the discussion, so still 2 down. Parent at second base. And a strike called. And like I said, live, that could go either way. That was really close. Obviously, when you're on one side, it's safe, and the other side, it's an out. You see it, with your biased eyes. But I think on that replay, I think you look at it, we slowed it down basically as slow as we could get it with our available technology. And that call was basically a tie live. Could have gone either way.
Rembler a double her first time up.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncer to second. Moving to her right. Played by Goet over to first. And it's in time. Rembler retired, as are the Rebels. Here in the 5th inning, as we'll move to the 6th. We played 5 here, 5 full. Maple Grove coming to the plate, trailing at 2-0.
Food insecurity touches millions, leaving countless families unsure where their next meal will come from. It's a daily struggle affecting health, focus, and well-being. Cole with Anoka County Public Health here. You should know that this is a challenge we can meet together. By supporting local food shelves, starting community gardens, and learning about national food programs, we can turn the tide against hunger. Every can donated, every dollar given, every hand extended in help makes a difference. Let's unite to ensure no one has to go to bed hungry in our communities. Together, we can end food insecurity. Reach out, get involved, and make an impact at goanokacounty.org.
Light starting to take effect here. Top of the 6th inning. Champlin Park 2-0 lead on Maple Grove. Crimson needing to get a couple here in the next couple of innings starting the top of the 6th. Lexi Huler, Merritt Wahlberg in the top of the order, Jordan Brewston.
Looks like 27 stepping in here.
Yeah, we're going to get a pinch hitter here for Maple Grove. It is Lizzie Vitens, who is the flex. So she is in that spot as the flex, playing at first base. She'll bat for Lexi Huler here. So a strategic move for the Crimson. And a swing and a miss.
Well, I tell you,
strike.
We've seen some great pitching by both of these teams as well. But if we get ever a chance to look at the play at second base and the 3 excellent plays at second base by Maple Grove and Ruby Goette. The one that ended the inning last time, footwork has been phenomenal. And then the inning before, footwork to get to a line drive, and then she launched and made a beautiful web gem.
Vitens, the pitch hitter here, technically in the lineup, just a lineup flip. When you bring your flex in for your DP, there's a ball. Vitens, 5 for 30, 167 average, and 1 run batted in. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I mentioned it because that is critical.
Swing and a miss. Came in with the high heat. And that is a strikeout and the 5th of the game here for Rothenberger. Boy, she reared back, and that one was high and hot.
Yeah, you could tell. She reared back and unleashed one.
See how she whips it? The long arms is just such an advantage.
That riser at top of the ladder, couldn't get to it. Wow.
The whip action of that long arm for Rothenberger. And that'll bring up Wahlberg, who was a strikeout victim. Fouls this one right at us. 1 strike. Wahlberg 0 for 1. 5 strikeouts in the game for Rothenberger, 57 on the season.
I only mentioned that with the Maple Grove second baseman. That play is because they've been able to keep it at 2-0. If she hadn't made those plays, 3-4-0, a much different view.
Keeps Maple Grove in the game, certainly. But I don't know. The way Rothenberger is pitching, it might as well be 8-0 or something right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've threatened. They got their first hit last inning and got a runner to scoring position, but that has been it. It's been a bouncer here to Rothenberger. Makes a nice play. Toss over to first. 2 down.
I have that as the 6th back to pitcher out. 1-3 here of this game.
Top of the order for Maple Grove. Future Wayne State. What's Wayne State's nickname?
Oh, dang it.
The Wayne Stately Manners?
Boom. Like it. That's
Jordan
got some
Brewston,
swag.
0 for 2. And it's ball 1-0 here to Brewston. If she gets on, Goette on deck.
Wildcats.
The Roth Stately Wayne Manners is much better than Wildcats. There's Wynn with a catch out to right field. Brewston is retired, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning. Rothenberger sailing along here. Maple Grove retired in order as we move to the bottom of the 6th, 5.5 here from Champlin Park. 2-0 Rebels.
To look at the schedules coming up here for the Rebels. You see they'll be at Osseo on tomorrow, followed by hosting Brainerd on the 9th, and then Anoka on the 13th, and Robbinsdale Armstrong the 14th, and Coon Rapids the 15th. That's left in the regular season. And then we dart right to section play. Meanwhile, for Maple Grove, they have a tough game against Stillwater. Stillwater, one of the top teams in Class 4A. Then they take on Blaine and travel to Blaine for that one on the 9th. They'll play another tough team in Eastridge. That's on May 9th. And then travel to Delano on the 10th. And then take on Andover on May 12th. So not a lot of gaps there. Broadcast schedule coming your way here for QCTV, must-see TV. Softball, we get Rogers, so you get a twin bill of Jim and I.
The
on
Joe
Thursday.
and Jim show.
Rogers versus at Andover, so that'll be a great matchup. Tremendous. Meanwhile, for volleyball and boys, Anoka versus Champlin Park. Talked to Steve Thompson today. He said he watched and they called with Tim Anderson that Anoka win over Irondale last night. Meanwhile, in girls lacrosse, Rogers takes on Anoka. And then it's the Anoka-Ramsey Association and the ABE graduation ceremonies. I may have the ARAA wrong on that breakdown, but the graduation ceremonies begins.
Yeah, when it's the Joe and Jim show, come for the softball, stay for the comedy. Definitely. So tune in coming up on Thursday. That'll be an afternoon game. And that game should be done in time for T-Wolves basketball enjoyment. Here's a slow roller. Nice play as we've got a new pitcher in there for Maple Grove as Jordan Brewston, who is their other pitcher, along with Wahlberg. In fact, it's Abrahamson, it's Brewston, and Wahlberg. They've used 3 pitchers here this season. And Abrahamson is out there on the play, so 1 down. And here is Rothenberger, 1 strike. Oh, I mixed in Abrahamson. Wahlberg and Brewston have been the 2 main pitchers, although Maple Grove has used a total of 4 pitchers. Wallace and Rankin have both pitched in the varsity as well. This one grounded to third. Beisel crossed the diamond, 2 down.
Yeah, a rare ground ball and activity on that side of the infield. Third or short, it's been a full blast of ground balls, line drives. It's a second and the first playing in that infield, and then rollers, 1-hoppers back to the pitcher all night for both teams, really.
Brewston, 24 2/3. She started 5 games. This was the 7th start of the season for Mare Wahlberg, so it's been very even between those two as far as starts. So they've been flip-flopping back and forth, but Brewston coming in 24 2/3 innings pitched, 1-3 on the season. Popped up to the right side here, the batter, Postma. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. Brewston, 4.82 ERA, 21 strikeouts here on the season. Mentioned 1-3. Rothenberger right now, pitcher of record, trying to go to 8-0. Grounder up the middle, backhanded nicely by Goette. Plants, throws, not in time. It'll be an infield hit, but there's another nice play, and you've mentioned and highlighted Goette all night long here for Maple Grove. She made another nice play. Just it wasn't hit hard enough for her to get that ball over to first. You also saw it was off of Brewston's glove. That slowed it up even a little bit more.
What a dart of a throw, and I'll tell you, fielding. Footwork is the key, the fundamental when it comes to fielding. And it's instead of just reaching, she has shown some tremendous athleticism, has Goette all night. 4th excellent play, but that time
Amanda Cottsmith is the batter here. Cottsmith 0 for 2 tonight here for Champlin Park. And it's down low and away, 1-0. That hit was the 7th hit of the game here for Champlin Park. We got a courtesy runner of at first base for Postma. This one is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And over there at first base running for Champlin Park is Sydney Bernovic. Pretty good hockey player. She's going to go play Division I hockey at Assumption University in Worcester, Mass. And she's running over at first. She's got a cousin that plays, I get to see a lot, over at St. Cloud State, Austin Bernovic. There goes the runner. Bernovic will slide in. Stolen base. So the Rebels trying to come up with some insurance here. They lead at 2-0. Would love to get another one. Just a little bit of insurance going to the 7th inning, and a stolen base there by Bernovic.
First steal of the game, as far as I can remember, or from any statistics I have captured. But good spot. Second means
2 balls, 2 strikes. This one's fouled. It stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Also new right fielder, by the way, with Brewston moving from right to pitcher for Maple Grove. Alexis Haug has moved from left over to right. And I can't quite see who's in left. That might be the pitcher Wahlberg out there. That one is low. Fills the count. One of our few full counts here. This has been a nice, speedy game. Not a lot of full counts. Not a lot of long at-bats. If they were, it's because the batter was fighting pitches off. 2 down, 3-2. Runner at second. Popped up. This will be foul over our heads. And it'll stay 3-2.
Yeah, 2 runs in that first inning, and it's been done. Let's see if it continues that way. Here with 2 outs, runner on second, a chance to try to at least change that number, push another run across.
Pitch is high, ball 4. So Brewston coming in here and pitching in the 6th inning, gives up the walk. That's the second walk given up by Maple Grove pitching. By the way, Merritt Wahlberg, 5 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits, struck out 1 and walked 1. And I think that's her out in left field right now. And the batter is Lauren Heltemus. First and second, 2 outs, popped up. Catcher Eiley into the grandstand. If we were playing banana ball, that would have been an out. You ever watch Banana Ball, the Savannah Bananas?
Yes.
They're selling out football stadiums.
They are.
All over in baseball. Major League Baseball stadiums, they're selling out. Minor league team out of Savannah, Georgia, there's a rule that if it's a pop-up into the stands and the fan catches it, the batter's out. What do you think of that?
I love it.
We should do that league-wide, countrywide, every level. 1 strike pitch, low. Evens the count, 1-1. And a throw down to second, and not in time. So Brnovik got back.
Hey, I love that energy from Brnovik. Testing the throw, trying to see if maybe they can throw one away.
Yeah. Maybe get a free one.
Yes.
Look at the play.
Trying to create that momentum.
She just maybe got that hand back in. This is popped up in the infield. Brewston, the pitcher, makes the catch. And that's it for Champlin Park. One last chance here for the Crimson for Champlin Park in the 6th. No runs, they got a hit, and they leave a couple on. And we move on to the 7th. 2-0 Champlin Park.
Did you know that every day, millions of children around the world go to bed hungry? At Feed My Starving Children, we're working hard to change that. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. It's a fun, rewarding, and impactful way to spend your time. Plus, it's something you can do with friends, family, or even your coworkers. Ages 5 and up and all abilities are welcome. We take care of you every step of the way, from greeting you at the door, increasing your understanding of the impact of world hunger, to specific volunteer roles. We're here to serve you. And together, we'll celebrate the powerful impact you've made in less than 2 hours. So join us at FMSC Coon Rapids and be part of something bigger than yourself. Find more details and sign up for a volunteer slot at fmsc.org/volunteer. Together, we can feed every child until all are fed.
Champlin Park trying to seal off their 3rd consecutive win against Maple Grove after losing 33 in a row before last year. In the all-time series, of course, they played a lot in conference. There was a time when you used to play every team twice in conference play before the Northwest Suburban ballooned to 14 teams. And, of course, they have faced off in sections over the years as well. And for Maple Grove, it'll be Goette, Beisel, and Eiley. First pitch, right back to Rothenberger. Backhands it over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 7th. Now Lauren Beisel, the future Bemidji State Beaver, 0 for 2 tonight. Again, no runs, just 1 hit here tonight for Maple Grove against Marissa Rothenberger. They're going to have to generate something, manufacture something here in the 7th.
That's the 6th one-hopper back to Rothenberger for the out tonight.
And she's played everyone cleanly. Fastball outside part of the plate, hits that black. 1 strike. That really popped the glove of Postma.
I was going to say, you've got some serious swag when your fastballs a lot more velo than when you started the game. At this point, here in the 7th.
1 strike to Beisel, swing and a miss. Got a good cut, but could not make contact. 0-2.
Yep, just under it. That riser the time lifted up beyond the bat, and now a 2-strike advantage. 0-2 for Rothenberger.
Here's the 0-2. High, 1-2. Champlin Park, Rothenberger and Abrahamson have pretty much split the pitching duties, although Lauren Heltemus pitched in a couple of games as well. Fought off the other way. It's 1-2. Rothenberger came into the game pitching 32 innings, and Abrahamson has pitched 33. So they've also flip-flopped, kind of like Maple Grove. And I think it's really a good thing. If you got a really good 1-2 punch in pitching, that's a really good way to go. But then when you get to the big games, you got to decide who's going to start. Called strike 3 on the outer part of the plate. A bit of delayed call there. Umpire had to think about it a little bit. But it was framed nicely by Postma. And Rothenberger gets Beisel down looking. Her 6th strikeout of the game, 2 down.
Yeah, I'll tell you, stymied it right there. And there you see it tails right back on that corner of the plate.
Nice framing by Postma. Look at how she brought it back. Beautiful. 2 down, that leaves it up to Eiley. And it's low and in, ball 1. Eiley 0 for 2.
Yeah, we mentioned at the beginning of the game, teams are hitting just 128 against Rothenberger. And that's going to be less if she gets this final light and they get the win.
1-0 is low, 2-0. Again, she pitched 4 1/3 innings of no-hit ball before Sarah Zimmerman got a single. And Zimmerman's on deck here. If Eiley can extend the game. Popped up, right side. Again on a play towards the other field here. We've got the Cloverleaf 4-field alignment here at Champlin Park High School. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Mentioned at the start, it has this postseason feel to this game. Not only the rivalry, but today's game.
On the ground sharply to short off of Cottsmith and into left field. So Eiley is on base. Gosh, I'm torn on it. Give that an error or a base hit. Not a routine ball. It was a backhand play there by Cottsmith.
I would probably call that. I would still probably call that an error because she had a stance
we'll do with
to
it then.
square
And if you ask Cottsmith, she'll probably say she should have had it.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do. I like to ask the bat.
She got in the right spot. She was over there, squared up.
Yeah.
That ball had some serious topspin to it. In the right spot, just didn't make the play. But hey,
it was well hit. I mean, it was hard hit by Eiley, and that's what you ask your hitters is, hey, hit it hard, make them make a play, and in that case, they couldn't. So Eiley is on at first.
And this changes kind of that feel right now. Just a 2-0 lead here for Champlin Park. They haven't had much adversity tonight. A runner has reached second for Maple Grove, but now's when you reach back and, hey, you've got that coaching staff of the Crimson, a lot of experience, and they will never give up. And they look at it as an opportunity. And so, Jim, what are you thinking? Stealing to get the second?
Well, they're talking about Olivia Froker is the courtesy runner over at first, and they brought in Coach Hennon, Coach Coltis, and the batter who is due up here, Zimmerman. The tying run is at the plate here, 2 down in the top of the 7th. And the pitch. Strike at the belt. 0-1. Zimmerman 1 for 2. Grounded back to the pitcher. Actually grounded out to first back in the 2nd inning. And then the base hit. The lone hit of the game against Rothenberger back in the 5th. Swing and a miss here. Big cut. Just could not reach it. And it's 0-2 here to Zimmerman, and Maple Grove down to their last strike.
You mentioned the arm whip. She snapped that fastball with some extra conviction on that.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 2-0. Runner at first. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. That's it. What a pitch by Rothenberger. What a game by Rothenberger. She throws a one-hitter, finishes the game with 8 strikeouts, and gets the win 2-0, Joe.
Wow. Everything is advertised, and then even better. At the tempo of the game, the field, some great defensive plays, but the pitching, I'll tell you, she was dominant. You mentioned 8 strikeouts.
Actually 7.
Seven
I
is correct. I had 7, but then, just minimal in terms of activity. She forced a lot of balls coming right back to her to the right side of that infield. Impressive. And the 3rd straight win now for the Rebels over Maple Grove.
Yeah, for Champlin Park here tonight, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 6. And for Maple Grove getting shut out here tonight, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2. Losing pitcher tonight, Merritt Wahlberg, went 5 innings, 2 runs for Maple Grove. Not a bad performance for her. 6 hits, struck out 1, walked 1. Brewston came in and pitched the 6th inning in relief, gave up a hit and a walk. And the winning pitcher, 4 1/3 innings of no-hit ball, goes the distance. 7 innings pitched tonight for the junior, Marissa Rothenberger. Gets the shutout, no runs, just the 1 hit, struck out 7. And didn't walk anybody on the season. Now 59 strikeouts and just 6 free passes. Maple Grove falls to 8-4, 7-2 in the conference. And again, next up on their schedule, they get Stillwater at home. That is tomorrow, at Blaine Thursday, hosting Eastridge on Friday. Champlin Park climbs ahead of Maple Grove in the standings. In fact, now tied in the loss column, 11-2 overall. 6-2 in the conference, and they get Osseo at Osseo tomorrow. They host Brainerd on Friday, and our next softball game, of course, on Thursday night. Rogers at Andover. Right here, it'll be Joe and I. Thank you, Joe. Good job. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yes, we will.
All right, final score, 2-0 Champlin Park over Maple Grove. For Joe Rulin, our entire staff, everybody out on the cameras and in the truck, great job here tonight. A beautiful night for softball. Congratulations to the first ever Champlin Park Ring of Fame member, Holly Blaska. Again, your final 2-0. I'm Jim Erickson, and you've been watching high school girls softball on QCTV Sports.